Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode here. We are in the enclosed trailer of renovations part 2. We've already kind of got a head start. I just kind of got here and I started working, so let's just jump right into it and catch up where we're at. All right guys, so we're back at it. We've been here already for a couple of hours working on this. So the goal is today is to start working on the leaks. First thing is though, I wanted to buff out some of the surface rust and stuff. Obviously with rust, it's like once it starts, it's kind of always there, right? So we buffed out as much as we could. We want to paint it to kind of slow the process down. Per se, by any means, am I no restoration or rust prevention expert, but this is kind of where we're at. So let me show you what we've done and what we're going to do next. So we've kind of gone along the edge here and buffed out a lot of the surface rust stuff here. And in some of the spots, it's a little bit heavier, especially when you get to this area over here. Crazy part is like it still has its paint, but the roof is what took the majority of the damage. So we've come along over here. We've buffed some of these columns that had some of the most surface rust, but at this point, I think we're okay. Do another little buff real quick, and then we're going to start spray painting this black, and then we're going to try to see if our game plan of fixing this roof and patching it up is actually going to work. All right, guys, so it's actually the next day. Yesterday, I was really trying to figure out exactly the best way to approach things, and so basically what I did, just end up buffing everything out that is now currently blue. I did paint it just to help the situation, right? Like I understand how rust works. Now I'm not an expert when it comes to this, but went ahead and shot some paint. We buffed everything out. Like I said, we painted it. And then we have these series of patches that I got. Shout out to my buddy Keith Enslin with Enslin Chassis here in local dirt track, our car builder. He had some extra panels laid out from making door panels, roofs, and all that stuff, bodies for the dirt track cars. So we reached out to him and see what he had. He had a bunch of scrap stuff. We were able to grab a couple of pieces of aluminum. Instead of going with galvanized stuff, which will rust again, we went with aluminum. So we got pieces cut out 6 by 6 inches, and then pretty much just filled a lot of the areas with some industrial RTV silicone. And the best way I figured out to apply this is go ahead and put it on there, let it sit for a minute, put some on the patch, let it sit for a minute, so whenever you stick it up there, it's already tacky and it kind of holds its position. So let me turn around real quick. We already did a majority of the deal. We got one more patch to put up there, and then we'll go after that. But let's look at what we've already got accomplished. Right, so it's not an award-winning type of work here, but as you can see, these are the patches. These are silicone now to the roof. This is some industrial RTV. So pretty much what we did was fill these gaps in with some silicone. Like I said, then apply silicone to the roof. Put some in the back of the pad, this patch. Once it got tacky, we slid it in and we just kind of set it for a minute and it held. So, and then we went back and then we kind of puttied the edges here, or, filled the edges up. So the plan is now we have one more section over here. And this is basically what we're trying to help mitigate. So I'll fill this in with a bunch of RTV in here. I'll force some in there, and then I'll put some up here, put some in the back of the panel, slide it in and let it sit. And then we're pretty much going to run some RTV all around the edge. And then after that, we'll probably add another type of coating to help prevent the sealing. So for now, we're just trying to hurry up, not hurry up, but we're trying to get this knocked out, trying to fix the repair, so then we can move up to the roof if needed. We're going to do some anyway, just in case, but right now we want to go ahead and knock out the top and then move from there. So I'm kind of all over the place. Like, this is completely new for me. It's not necessarily something that you would see a lot like other people do, like more detailed, but because I'm so unsure, we're kind of just winging it. And for the sake of just kind of documenting this process, we have something to look at, right? That's where we're at. So we're going to finish up this last patch, and then we're going to silicone the rest of the edge here where that seam is at, and then we're going to let it dry for about an hour or so, just kind of quick dry, or if not, we'll come back the next day and then apply another sealant about underneath it. So kind of where we're at. All right, guys, it's the next day, and it's been about over, what, maybe 20 hours or so that we applied the new patch, the last patch, and applied some more silicone to seal the edges. But you know, so I'm always scrounging through Facebook Marketplace, and you know, one thing that is going to be coming up later is power plant for the trailer itself. Now we do have, I believe it's like an 8,000 generator, but I don't think that's going to be enough to run too many splits, maybe even possibly 3, right? So meaning try to run 1 generator with 2 trailers. So you know, I'm always on the look. We're looking, scrounging through. Obviously my search history right now has to do with RV panels, insulation, and generators. So scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, and this generator popped up. This is a 7,000 power horse, which is it's a little bit older model. It's just one that you would get from Northern Tool. And obviously it's not available anymore, but according to the gentleman, there's only like 20 minutes in it. It was bought as a backup source for the big freeze of 2021. So when the generator was put in place, ran it for about 20 minutes allegedly, and power came back on. So he pretty much had it in storage. He drained the fuel. So another gentleman bought it. He had it thinking he was going to use it as a backup source and tie it into the house, but I guess it's a little bit more expensive than what he wanted to invest as a backup generator, so he's selling it. Got a pretty good price on this, so we're on our way actually to Granbury, Texas, which is about an hour and a half away. So you start doing dad math, you know, the price of the generator, price of diesel, which is kind of low right now. It makes sense. We're going to be invested in it way less than we would buying a brand new 7,000 watt generator, which is probably peaking 7,000 peaks and then 5 to 6,000 run-in. So that should be enough to run what we need. So we're actually heading that way. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to document this while we get it, but we're gonna go over there. It's kind of part of the documentation process of how we're doing this. So I don't mind buying a brand new generator, and in reality I would like to buy a really good generator, so like that it's like out of sight, out of mind, just maintain. But a good deal is a good deal. I think I'm pretty much getting this at would be half cost, and it's still very new, with very little time, if not any hours, is just minutes. So we're heading out to Granbury. We're about an hour out. So I just wanted to document this process, and then once we get there, we'll fire it up, try it out, and then go from there. Hopefully we'll cut a good deal. Okay, so we're back. We made it back from the trip, got ourselves a new power plant. We'll check that out here in a minute. But basically we rushed over here to go ahead and start applying this other sealant, which is Flexio. I'll grab it here in a minute. So went debated on really what else I should do. And I know that's a rubberized undercoating, and you see all the videos on YouTube how good this stuff is, but all that stuff is pretty much applied while you're on top of it. When you apply it from the top, from the ends, like overhead, it's a little bit different. You have to apply lighter coats. And again, I didn't really detail a lot of video detail because I'm really trying to figure this stuff out. I've never used this stuff. So basically the way it works is you put a bunch on your brush and then you can roll it on, but I didn't roll it on. I brushed it. Basically you put a bunch on one side, make sure the other side is clear, and then you wipe it and just make sure you smeared it across. Now, obviously it's gonna seem like you're not doing much, but you apply light coats, brush it, it dries up pretty quick, decently. You apply another coat and you start putting layers on. So let me show you what I got here. So this is what we're using. This is Flexio liquid, black. It's pretty thick. And the other thing too is deceiving is where it's pretty thick, but you think, oh, I I can grab a whole bunch and put on there now. It will drip. Now, obviously from the last video, you've seen that we have a bunch of silicone, so obviously it's a little bit more slick. So especially in those silicone areas, you know, wipe it thin, then you just keep going, and eventually you get nice layers. So I put about 30 minutes into this deal. I pretty much got all the way across. Let me show you what I got. So we got a pretty nice layer now here. I think we'll be fine. This red stuff is industrial strength, and it's stuck on it really good. So everything looks pretty good. We might just go one more layer up in here, and then over here we spent the most of the time over here in this big spot where a lot of the trouble areas are at. So it's kind of where we're at. We're gonna let it dry up. I think we're good. It looks really good. So I think next what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna pull the trailer out. We're gonna do this tomorrow. We're gonna pull the trailer out and actually wash the roof. I want to clean it up really good, and then at the same time see if we have any leaks. All right, so up here we got our new to us generator, and this thing is practically, I mean, brand new. If you can see, this video does not do it justice, but I mean, this guy literally said there was only 20 minutes on there, and I cold-heartedly believe him. Thing fired up on the first try. So yeah, so this will be the power plant to the new trailer. One thing to check off the list. So obviously we got some things to think about, but it's kind of where we're at. All right, so yeah, it's kind of where we're at right now. Even though we're still working on repairing the roof, the leak, one thing, like I said earlier, I'm mentioning is like I'm looking on Facebook Marketplace for a deal where it comes to insulation, paneling, whatever I can do. I mean, so far into this whole deal, I mean, with the trailer, you know, this is dad math, right? With the trailer, you know, we did an even trade, so we don't really have money invested already into that. So and then we got a bigger trailer. So for the most part, I think we'll call that a squash. So we have nothing invested in this trailer other than what we put into it. So now, obviously, we got some just material silicone. The panels, the cutout panels I got from my buddy Keith were free. Silicone was not very much, a couple of dollars. So, and then now the generator, I'm pretty sure we're under $500 so far into this deal. So far we're doing good. Now, just because, like I said, we're working on this deal, I am still looking for like panels, stuff like that, insulation, but also looking for some furniture to put inside. Like I mentioned, the front half of this is intended for us to try to sleep in it for a day or so. And then we already have an air conditioner at the house put up. Well, actually, we got it put up here in storage at the land. So we already have that. And the only thing is we're going to add a secondary air conditioner, and that's why we went for the bigger generator. So kind of where we're at. We're going to let this dry up about overnight. We'll come back here around noon, and then we'll get back to it. All right, guys, it's been about a couple of days later. We actually took the weekend off to go do some family time. We had the opportunity to go take a trip down to South Texas, which is Port Aransas. What, about a 5-hour drive? Kind of like a quick decision deal. Spent some time with the family. Got to go look at the beach, ride around a golf cart, and really just do nothing, hang out. So it was much needed. We got a big shutdown going on at work. But at the same time, still scrounging Facebook Marketplace looking for some deals. And we happened to found one. I thought I was going to go ahead and pull the trigger, buy some insulation from Home Depot. You know, the more you buy, the better deal you get. But luckily enough, scrounging through Facebook Marketplace, I found somebody who listed some insulation and then led me to another person. And I actually got some pretty good insulation. Now, I don't know a lot about this stuff. It's not just your regular styrofoam like you would buy at Home Depot. This is some actual commercial stuff. So we made the trip. It's currently Sunday. We made the trip back to the house. Then we picked up the truck, and I was in communication with a good guy named David. made a trip out here to around the Canton area, and we put a pretty good deal on some insulation. So we're able to buy everything that I think we need for the trailer, so we should be good on insulation. We're heading back now to go drop it off where we have the trailer at, and then after that it's on to install an installation. But first we've got to do some electrical to do that before we put the panels on and everything. But everything tested good on the roof and everything, so we're in a really good spot. We should be able to hit our deadline for the SJD race. So yeah, we have all the key components. We fixed the leak. We have all the insulation. We're going to reuse the side panels for the trailer that we took off, which are aluminum. And then we got the generator, and we also already have a mini split. And then all we got to do is just buy some carpet and some panels for the roof, which are just going to be some almost like shower paneling. So that's not very expensive. So overall, we're doing pretty good when it comes to a budget build on this deal. So we're heading out to the house, and I'll show you the insulation here in a little bit, and then we'll be wrapping this video up. All right, guys, so we're back here. We got everything unloaded. It's been a couple of days later, so we're about a week out. Usually by now I have almost 2 videos ready, but unfortunately we've just been so busy. We took some time off, a weekend off pretty much, but as you can see, we still were up and running around shopping. Facebook Marketplace has been very nice and also very cruel, because we find a lot of good deals, so we're kind of jumping on that stuff while we can. But for right now, to end this video, we are at the point where we do have our insulation. We have our new to us generator, all that stuff, and along with a couple of items. So we're in a really good spot, and we just got to get this thing done. So let's check out this installation, and then we'll wrap this thing. All right, so this is what we ended up getting: some Armax 1-inch, which is an R6. This is not your typical styrofoam. It's pretty much, it has some fiberglass and stuff in it. So from my understanding, it's commercial grade stuff. So got a really good deal on this stuff. So I'm excited to be able to put this in, and hopefully, either way, no matter what we do, it's gonna be better than what we had. You know, we got the generator, like I mentioned. So now we've also got a couple of items, but we'll go over that in the next video. So right now where we're at is, we know that the leak is gone as of right now. We got some storms coming in them this week, so it would be a good indicator to see how we did. On top of that, I got some electrical cord or some power cable, a spool of wire, so we can do all our lights. We got the lights in, we got some hardware in, so we can put the panel back up. We're in a good spot, so now we just got to get it done. Meanwhile, in the background, we still have the plaques going. So I'm going to end this video off here, run back to the house, get in the garage. I got plaques going there, the trophies and stuff. So, and I got another video that I'm working on. So I'm really trying to be proactive and active on this deal. We're doing really good. I really appreciate everybody watching through. I know this is not the most favorable content, but it is part of our process to the journey of having what I would say a very good setup. Almost, for me, you know, from what we came from, a very good setup to go do something that not very many people go do, you know, RC racing. So at the end of the day, I really appreciate all your support. We got some more videos coming up. We're working on it, but I'm also very, very busy at work. So for me to be busy at work, take time off and go on vacation, and then still doing this, I'm doing very, very well. So that's all I got for today. I'm working on a couple of things, so you'll see me pretty soon again. So thank y'all so much for watching. Thanks for the love. We'll see you on the next one.